We're starting the budget consultation very, very soon now, so what I want to do is try and put the parameters for that budget out into the public domain. We're facing really severe cuts. We thought that the budget deficit for 2013-14 might be just 2 to 3 million. At least that's what was said when the budget was set for 12-13 back in February of this year. We now feel that the budget deficit is well in excess of 40 million, and if a number of the cuts proposed by Eric Pickles come through, then that budget deficit will be perhaps even double that 40 odd million figure. So we're facing a cut scenario in 2013-14 which is much more severe than ever we envisaged. In total, there is probably going to be something of the order of £100+ million taken out of the budget during 2013-14. There were already planned £70 million of cuts. That was in the 12-13 budget, but we think that figure will have to grow to well in excess of 120 million to take care of the problems that we now know are about.
Now, when you consider the number of services Birmingham City Council supplies for the people of the city, how do you set your priorities when in such challenging times?
It's very difficult, particularly given the magnitude of the cuts. When you're dealing with £1 or £2 million, then it's not too difficult to deal with that situation. When you're dealing with cuts of over £100 million, then it's a much, much more difficult position. And just to put that figure into context, we think that by the time we get to 2016-17, because this is not just a one-year issue, by the time we get to 2016-17, 6 years of budget cuts from 2010-11, some 48% of the controllable budget of the City Council will have been cut. And that's an enormous sum. So you have to think about issues such as fairness. You have to think about where the most vulnerable are. You have to therefore try and make those cuts which are going to be least damaging to the citizens of Birmingham. It's easy, it's not too difficult, put it that way around. It's not too difficult when you're dealing with a few £1 million of cuts, but it's extremely difficult when you're dealing with the sort of cuts that we're talking about now.
Now, things aren't set in stone, are they? You said it's the beginning of the consultation period. How important is it that you hear the views of the people of Birmingham?
It's very important because this is a two-way exchange of information. What we're trying to do is say to the people of Birmingham what it is that's affecting our budget. We'll put that very squarely to them. And then having said what is the magnitude of the cuts, we then need to go through what the potential options are. But in the end, you can't salami slice. We've got to the end of that game. There is going to be, I think, over the next year or two, the decommissioning of some services. We simply will have to stop doing things. Not only will we have to stop doing things, we'll have to insist that others take on board some of the activities that have been the responsibility of Birmingham City Council. Schools, for example. Schools have got now increasing delegated budgets going directly to the schools. The money doesn't come through Birmingham City Council, and therefore schools will have to take on some of those responsibilities which formerly used to be those of the City Council.